Hello and welcome back to Airbrush Ways. As we said in that last video, I was going to do a second video with regards to taping and spraying and stuff. So this is the second panel that I mentioned last time. It's had a couple of rattle can clear coats on it and rubbed down, so we've got a smoother surface than on the other one. So I've just put a little border in there. We're using the same paper type of masking fine line tape, and all I'm going to do now is just add a few lines onto this thing, and then we'll get into spraying. So there's no actual markings on this. I'm just going to start and work my way around, so maybe we'll start in that top corner. Just random, really, doesn't really matter what kind of pattern we do on here. This is just for the sake of showing you how I would normally do this if we were in a position where we were doing this maybe for a job for somebody. Doesn't really matter what's on there. Maybe start with one up here and follow it round. All I'm trying to do is to get some different angles and to be able to overlap what I'm doing. And we're just coming out of Storm Ciara over in Ireland at the moment, so it's been pretty hectic. I think they said 130, 140 kilometres an hour winds, which I know for some people maybe that's not a major amount, but here it's been fairly hectic. Now I think that'll do as far as lines go, and then if you see when I'm taking this tape off, what I'm trying to do is just put the blade on there and then pull the tape up to the blade rather than trying to cut into the actual panel. So just like I did before, is just go around with the thumbnail and get those joints pushed in so that when one overlaps the other, we're actually sealing along the edges. So with that done, I'm now going to put this up on the board and we'll move on to the second step. Okay, so we're back up on the board. The tape is on there. It's probably been, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes of the tape being up there. So what I'm going to do now, different to the way we did it last time, I'm going to be using the HPCH from Iwata, and in the cup I'm going to put 4004 transparent base with about 10% reducer, and I always use the 4012. What I'm going to do here, slightly different, I'm going to use the 4020 automotive reducer. I think there's a slight difference in it. I think there's a difference in the flash off time with it, but what I'm going to do is mix up the 4004 transparent base, a drop of the reducer, just maybe 10%, and that's enough to thin it out to get through the brush. And I really don't want a great deal of reducer, just enough for it to do its job. And then we're going to start by using this over the panel. And the idea is that this now is going to put a seal. So if you remember, and I know it wasn't much, but when we have the paint bleed under the tape, I use this now to try and stop that. All I'm doing is following the lines. It's probably hard to see this, but it's definitely coming out. All I'm doing at the moment is just following this tape and letting the clay, this transparent base, if there's anywhere where this is going to bleed, the transparent base will bleed under the tape. So I'm just going to air dry that now for a second. Okay, so I've just got rid of the transparent base out of the airbrush, cleaned it off, and I've just put in now Wicked Black 0051, I think it is, Wicked Black, Detail Black, and I've put in the usual 4012 reducer. So there's probably the usual 70% reducer, 75% reducer, and the rest is the Wicked Black. So this has been stood while I've changed the paint. It's probably took me, I don't know, a couple of minutes. That's how long I've left that to dry. What I'm going to do now is go over this just like we did with the other one, and hopefully the clear coat, the transparent base has formed a seal in any little gaps that might be in there. Again, all I'm doing is following the spray onto the edge of the paint, onto the edge of the tape. So I'm following the spray onto the edge of the tape. I'm not going on the paint and I'm not going on there. Just here, and you'll see it starts to develop on both the tape and the panel. What I did last time was cover some of the paint or the panel with solid paint, so I'm going to kind of put that in just on the top edge of stuff, so like on this edge here. Okay, it's just a case of having thicker pieces. You can see where it's coloured all the tape black, thicker pieces where we've gone real dark, and then lighter pieces maybe where we've not gone as dark. So what I'm going to do now is take this tape off and we'll just see exactly how we've gone on, because we've put the transparent base down first. Okay, so hopefully you can see there, I've got you as close as I can to this, that with putting the 4004 transparent base around the edge of the tape, you've actually created a clear sealer that if it was going to go creep under the tape, the clear would do that. And that doesn't matter, because once that clear has gone under the tape, there's no room then for the black. So the Wicked Black then goes over the top, and even on those joints there is no kind of bleed through that I can see, even with the eye or looking through the camera. It's giving you a different way of taping up the job, taping up a panel or whatever you're doing, and then being able to say, well, when it's done, I'm not going to get any paint creep under. But that then depends on your panel. If you have a really rough panel, you're going to find it difficult to actually stop that paint from creeping. My advice would be to make sure that you've got a nice flat panel, whether it's a case of putting clear coat over the job before you tape or not, it's up to you. But that's the way that I would say is the best way. It's not the quickest, but it's definitely, I would say, the best way of giving you a smooth surface so you can then put your tape on. But I would still then spray down some transparent base first. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends about what I'm doing. I'm hoping that it's going to help somebody somewhere. Okay, if there's anything you'd like to ask me or speak about, just leave it in the comments below this video and I'll definitely get back to you. Hope you've enjoyed it. Speak to you soon. Okay, I'm Jack. This is Airbrush Ways. Bye.